Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Max with BuzzTox here, and I am back with a Game of Thrones Season 8 Episode 5 prediction video. In this video, I look at the preview trailer, as well as foreshadowed plot points to predict and theorize what I think will happen in the next episode. And this episode is very important because it's the second last episode of the entire series. And the key focus is going to be on the last war. The war between Daenerys and Cersei. It's the culmination of everything to see who will sit on the Iron Throne. And the show has been leading to this. We know that a dragon is going to fly over King's Landing from Bran's visions. We know that the show will end in the destruction of King's Landing. And now Daenerys is finally in that emotional state where she has no choice other than to become the tyrant that she wants to destroy. Because at this point, Daenerys has lost 2 of her dragons, many of her allies, as well as the bulk of her army. And she's realizing that a lot of people aren't rallying to her cause like they do Jon Snow. Because at the end of the day, she's a foreign invader. She's trying to impose her will on other people because she believes it's her destiny. On top of that, there's members of her council that are undermining her to try and put another person on the throne. And now she's in a state of emotion because Missandei and Rhaegal have died, as well as she's in a point of desperation where it's almost impossible for her to win because Cersei beats her in armies, artillery, and strategy. So I think Daenerys is finally going to give in to her impulses and hop on Drogon and take it straight to King's Landing to defeat Cersei once and for all. And she has been checked many times by other people to make sure that she keeps her worst impulses at bay to build a better world.
Do we have a plan?
I will crucify the masters. I will set their fleets afire, kill every last one of their soldiers and return their cities to the dirt. That is my plan. You don't approve.
You once told me you knew what your father was.
The people who follow you know that you made something impossible happen. Maybe that helps them believe that you can make other impossible things happen. Build a world that's different from the shit one they've always known. But if you use them to melt castles and burn cities, you're not different. You're just more of the same.
But now I think it's too far gone, and I think we're going to start seeing Daenerys lay waste to Cersei's army as well as King's Landing. And that's exactly what Cersei wants. She knows she has the upper hand over Daenerys, and she knows how to exploit Daenerys' impulses. And to Cersei, that's what she's after, poetic justice.
She has a keen sense of poetic justice.
If it's a Dragon Queen she's after.
She has other plans for the Targaryen girl.
Cersei has special plans for Daenerys, and much like how she killed the Sand Snakes like how they killed Myrcella, and she wants to kill Tyrion and Jaime like Tyrion killed her father, I'm sure she has a plan for Daenerys that will come full circle and not only destroy Daenerys, but also her image. She doesn't just want to beat Daenerys, she wants to destroy everything she stood for. She wants to make Daenerys look like the tyrant, look like the Mad Queen. And Cersei has successfully set Daenerys up to do that. She killed her best friend, she killed one of her children, and now she's preparing. She brings the civilians into the Red Keep to make the casualties as high as possible, to make Daenerys commit mass genocide on innocent people, the exact thing that Tyrion and Varys are counseling her not to do. On top of Daenerys ruining her image, it also makes her vulnerable, and that's exactly what Cersei wants. She has all of her Scorpion ballistas stationed all over King's Landing. And if Cersei plays her cards right, she could be the one who kills the Mad Queen Daenerys and kills her dragon. And that's poetic justice to Cersei because Daenerys' image has been tarnished, and she looks like nothing more than a Mad Queen just like her father. And we can see the setup to this throughout the trailer. We see Daenerys, Tyrion, and others at Dragonstone, and I think they're going to go straight back here after the incident with Missandei. And here Daenerys is mourning the loss of Rhaegal and Missandei, and Tyrion seems almost afraid to approach her. And in some aspects he is afraid of her. And that's what he told to Sansa last episode.
Every good ruler needs to inspire a bit of fear.
And Tyrion is going to be caught in a situation because he knows it's going to be almost impossible to counsel Daenerys not to attack King's Landing, because he's done it before. And I think he believes he's at the end of his road. That's why he was practically begging Qyburn to step down, because he knows Daenerys is going to hop on her dragon and go straight to King's Landing. And I think he could find out that news in this scene. We see Daenerys sitting on her throne at Dragonstone with Grey Worm and Tyrion there. We know Grey Worm is going to be an emotional wreck because Missandei died, And on top of that, before Missandei died, she screamed Dracarys. So here, Daenerys probably tells them that she is going to attack King's Landing on the back of Drogon. And to Daenerys, she thinks that the ends justify the means. She thinks that she was seen trying to make peace with Cersei. So automatically now it's Cersei's fault that she's going to rain fire down on everyone else. And one key aspect about this scene is that Varys is not there. And I think Varys made it pretty clear who he supports moving forward. He thinks supporting Daenerys was a mistake, and he tried to caution her and let her know that he thought that she was making a mistake, but she just chalked it up to fate. She basically said that she would have to become a tyrant to eliminate the world of tyrants.
Don't.
I've spoken as honestly as I can. Each of us has a choice to make. I pray we choose wisely.
So I think this is setting up a twist with Varys, and the real question is, how will Varys rally to get Jon's support? I think as the Master of Whispers, he can spread word to other lords throughout Westeros and let them know about Jon to support his cause. Another thing Varys could do as well is get the Golden Company to potentially side with Jon, and Jon would be forced to take that mantle of Aegon Targaryen. So this is a twist that we could see revealed next episode, or it's something that can be shown in the last episode of the season. But regardless, I think Varys is going to get executed for him betraying Daenerys, and then Jon will be forced to take the mantle as king. But then after this scene, Grey Worm and Tyrion return to King's Landing to accompany Jon and Davos with all of Daenerys' forces. And here we see them wait as the Golden Company marches out of King's Landing to protect it. And I find this shot interesting because Jon is standing there with Davos, who's basically Jon's hand, and Tyrion is there accompanying him as well. And obviously at this point, Tyrion probably won't support the actions of his queen. And because I think Daenerys will hop on Drogon and start burning King's Landing to the ground, it will change their strategy and what they wanted to do. Last episode, they planned taking their armies and laying siege to King's Landing. Any food shipments, they would destroy it and cut out all of their supplies and wait until Cersei is beaten from within. And if the Golden Company comes outside, then they'll fight them in the field.
We'll surround the city. If the Iron Fleet tries to ferry in more food, the dragons will destroy them. If the Lannisters and the Golden Company attack, we'll defeat them in the field.
Once the people see that Cersei is our only enemy, her reign is over.
But because Daenerys will force their hand and attack King's Landing, one of two things will happen. First, a fight could break out, and there could be a war in the field with Jon leading the Unsullied and the Dothraki against the Golden Company. Or what could happen is Jon could take the name Aegon Targaryen, and because of some table setting Varys has done, Jon could gain the loyalty of them. Because at this point Daenerys would attack the Red Keep, thus potentially ending their contract. And then at this point, Jon and Daenerys' armies can storm King's Landing, trying to save the civilians that Daenerys is putting in danger. And I think Daenerys on the dragon is going to come out of left field. And we see that here, when Euron loads the Scorpion ballistas on his ships, and we hear the dragon roar as he looks off into the skies. And I think Daenerys is going to use those clouds to her benefit, and she's going to be more strategic this time around when she uses Drogon. But then we go to Cersei hiding away in the Red Keep, and she has a lot of weapons at her disposal. Obviously, she pushed Daenerys to the point to use her dragon, which will tarnish her reputation. But Cersei also has wildfire caches all over King's Landing. And I don't think Cersei's end goal is to be queen at this point. It's just to get back at all the people who have wronged her. And I think the only person who could potentially stop Cersei is Jaime. And that's part of the reason why he's going south. Jaime's been on a huge redemption arc, and I think he wants to go talk to Cersei and end her reign once and for all, maybe fulfilling the Valonqar prophecy. Other two characters who are on the way to King's Landing is Arya and the Hound. And based on the producers of the show really liking the fan fiction type of writing, I wouldn't be surprised if we get Clegane Bowl, where the Hound fights his brother, fulfilling the mission that he wanted to go on. And a similar thing with Arya. We know that Cersei is on her list. Maybe Arya is going there to murder her. So we'll see how those plots work into the overall war of the episode. Because I'm sure out of anger and desperation, Daenerys will burn a significant amount of King's Landing. And whether Jon the Unsullied and Dothraki are successful at either beating the Golden Company or getting the Golden Company to their side, I am convinced that they're going to break into King's Landing and lay it to siege, and put King's Landing under attack, while trying to save as many civilians as possible. So it's very possible at the end of this episode we could see King's Landing in ruin. And I think we could see the death of a lot of major characters. We know that Cersei's gonna die, it's just a question of whether it's gonna be the end of this next episode or in the finale of Game of Thrones. And the same goes for Daenerys. I think Daenerys could tarnish her relationships and her reputation, and she may be killed to be stopped. Or she will die while she fights against Cersei. But that's what I think could happen in this episode. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.